Hey guys, what's up? It's me again, your favorite Maokai guy. Or at least, I used to be. You might have noticed I've been playing a bunch of Ornn instead of Maokai lately. And this video is here to explain why Maokai is so completely terrible in the current meta and why I've been playing Ornn instead. And I'm also going to include a bunch of the reasons for Maokai being so weak in comparison to Ornn, and what I think could be used to fix this problem. So, let's start with their base and scaling stats. For their base stats, Ornn beats Maokai in HP, HP regen, mana regen, AD, attack range, and attack windup. Whereas Maokai beats Ornn in terms of mana, armor, and attack speed. And then they're even in magic resist and move speed. So, not a huge difference. Scalings, Ornn barely beats out Maokai in terms of his HP regen and mana, as well as AD scalings. Everything else, they're completely even. So, we have to ask ourselves, how can Ornn be so much tankier than Maokai in terms of the mid-game and late game if their scalings and base stats are pretty much the same? To answer why Ornn is so much better than Maokai in terms of his tankiness, we have to look at their passives. Maokai's passive is incredibly simple. He'll periodically be able to heal himself on auto attacks. It's a flat amount that is increased by his max HP. If he's hit by an ability, or if he casts an ability of his own, he'll reduce the cooldown of his passive. So if he's taken a bunch of Ezreal Qs, or spamming his own abilities, he'll be able to use his passive to heal up over and over and over. However, this effect isn't very good until the late game, when he's had a chance to hit a level where the percent HP heal is very high, or if he doesn't have enough HP stacked from his items or a Spirit Visage yet to be able to get good heal amounts. Whereas Ornn has 4 different passives. His first passive is incredibly strong. Ornn gains an additional 10% bonus armor and magic resist from all sources. He also has Living Forge, which means that he can purchase non-consumable items from anywhere in the field just by building them himself in a little 4-second cooldown. And this is an insane thing. Having Living Forge means that if you are winning your lane and you have good pressure, you still have your corrupting potion stacks or your refillable stacks if you're using that. You don't have to base as long as you have HP and mana. You can just chill in lane and keep controlling your waves without having to go back, which is super powerful. What's his next passive? Master Craftsman. When Ornn reaches level 12, any upgradable item Ornn owns or purchases for the rest of the game is upgraded for free up to a maximum of 2. This is the most broken part of Ornn's passive. When he hits level 12, he can instantly get himself an upgraded Sunfire Cape, Abyssal Mask, or Iceborne Gauntlet, which all have absolutely ridiculous stats on them. Let's continue by just looking at the raw stat advantage that Ornn would get from Sunfire Cape and Abyssal Mask upgrade. Once he gets both of those upgrades, he will have an advantage of 40 armor, 45 magic resist, and 725 HP. When calculating out the gold efficiency of these upgrades, it equates to 3,495 gold worth of stats. That is more than one completed item worth of stats. But not only that, we have to also remember one of Ornn's multiple passives is that he gains 10% bonus armor and magic resist from all sources. So there's the stat difference, and then there's also that Ornn is getting bonuses on those stat differences. So Maokai just can't compare. And then, not only can he upgrade himself, but levels 13, 14, 15, and 16, each one of them he gets an extra upgrade for one of his allies, which all have about a 1,000 gold efficiency in terms of the upgrade stats. So let's summarize the difference between their passives. Maokai's passive is heal himself on auto attacks, and he can reduce the cooldown of it by casting abilities or being hit by abilities. Ornn's passive is gain 10% more armor and magic resist, shop anywhere. At level 12, give yourself 3,495 gold efficiency of stats. Levels 13, 14, 15, and 16 give an ally an upgrade which will range between 1000 to 1500 gold efficiency in stats. And then he has the brittle effect. The brittle effect will deal 12% to 20% max HP damage to a target on his auto attack or CC abilities from himself or an ally when they're brittled. This is the core reason of why Ornn is so much better than Maokai. The rest of their kits don't matter as much when Ornn has this much packed into his passive alone. Let's remind ourselves that Ornn can apply brittle 3 times in a single combo, which at level 18, the brittle effect alone would deal 61.5% max HP damage to a single target. Then add to the fact that you'd add in the 16% max HP damage from his W to apply the brittle effect, as well as the 450 base damage of the ultimate and an auto attack. This combo would deal 77.5% max HP damage and about 550 flat damage. This is without using his Q or his E. I put a table together to compare the damages of their abilities side by side, as well as the total damage a combo could do to a single champ, or that a combo could do to 5 champions. So let's compare them side by side. Let's go down the list first of Maokai's abilities. Maokai's Q can deal 250 damage flat at level 18. His W will deal 170 damage flat, and his E will deal 250 flat damage plus 16% max HP damage. This is if the sapling is in a brush, otherwise the number would be halved to 125 flat damage and 8% max HP damage. And then his ultimate can deal 300 damage per hit. A single target can take more than 1 hit of his ultimate, however they have to walk into a second hit of it. The full combo for Maokai on a single champ is 970 damage plus 16% max HP damage. This is not counting if a champion walks into multiple parts of the ultimate. The full combo damage on 5 champions is 4,170 damage plus 80% max HP damage. Now let's move on to Ornn's damages. These are all based off of level 18 and if he procs his brittle effect that would be applied by the abilities. His Q would deal 265 damage. His W would deal 16% max HP plus the 20.5% of brittle. His E would deal 300 damage. His ultimate would deal 450 plus 41% max HP damage from the brittle. His full combo on a single champion will deal 1015 damage plus 77.5% max HP damage. And his full combo on 5 champs will deal 5,075 damage plus 387.5% max HP damage. Ornn can do almost 400% max HP damage if he hits the optimal combo. That's almost 5 times as much max HP damage as Maokai deals, on top of dealing more flat damage. But even this doesn't get to the true issue of Maokai, and it's that Maokai's farming ability and wave control are terrible. If Maokai uses all of his basic abilities, he still won't clear the wave, and cannon minions are even worse for him. Ornn can use 1 spell rotation and clear the wave easily. This may not seem like much, but in any sort of higher level game, Maokai simply gets beaten out by 99% of other top laners, because he will always be down in CS, because he's forced to make a choice. Does he fix his wave state and get the CS, or get to the teamfight on time? If he sees the enemy top laner backing, and the wave's pushing into him, he cannot effectively push the wave to punish their back. He is going to be super slow to all of his resets, no matter what. On top of this, we need to address something. Maokai used to be an incredibly dominant tank back before his rework. And one of the big reasons that he struggles so much right now is because of how lackluster his current ultimate is. It moves too slowly, and can be easily blocked by having one person just stand in front of it. The only way to reliably hit Maokai's current ultimate as an engage tool is to jump on top of the enemy and use it forwards, or if they're out of range to hit it forwards, use it behind yourself so that they get instant hit by it. But this goes against the point of the ability because the route is increased based off distance traveled. What I propose as solutions to save Maokai from his current terrible state are this. Give either or both his Q and E bonus damage to minions and monsters at max rank. This will save him in the mid to late game from having terrible wave clear options. As it stands right now, Maokai needs to use at least 2 Qs in order to clear a wave, and will have to spend all of his abilities as well as 2, even 3 Qs on a cannon minion to clear it. Giving him bonus damage to minions and monsters will allow him to rotate around the map better without buffing his teamfight capabilities. Also, I think his ultimate should approach towards him the way Ornn ultimate does. When Ornn casts his ultimate, he chooses where the ram charges at him from. If Maokai had his current ultimate and it charged towards him, similar to Ornn ult, he would be able to reliably chase people or start team fights. This would solve Maokai's 2 biggest issues, his wave clear and the fact that his ultimate is one of the least satisfying abilities or ultimates to use in the entire game. As a disclaimer, this is not a video designed to try and get Ornn gutted to Maokai's level. I believe that Ornn is a strong champion and could use minor tweaks to make him slightly weaker, but he is by no means broken. He is the only tank that currently works in the meta, and I believe other tanks like Maokai should be given changes to improve how they perform in comparison to Ornn. I want to thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and hopefully we can get this in front of the Riot Balance team so that they can get to addressing some of the issues I proposed. And yeah, I will see you next time.